Oh, must be cold outside. My heater's gushing a lot of heat. Just put my legs over it to get to the window. Set this over here. Good morning. See that I'm wearing my sweats this morning. Thought yesterday after I finished my show, it was kind of hard for me to change from my PJs into my sweats, which honestly there's no reason that it was hard for. Basically, I'm wearing PJ-like pants and underwear underneath them, and I probably had the same shirt that I went and worked out on yesterday, so all I had to really do was put on a different pair of meshy sort of PJ-ish pants. But either way, I found myself taking a while to switch and get out the door. I mean, granted, it was 6:45 in the morning. I'd been up for 2 hours. The thought of jumping to the gym wasn't sounding super exciting. But I realized, I think, over the last few years, I've grounded myself on a few things. And one of them is fitness. I think by working out regularly, it helps kind of focus my forward movement, my crazy jumping around mind, and keeps me productive. When I think if I just let my thoughts take the wheel, I could bury myself in worry or fret or fear or anxiety or a bunch of yucky thoughts. The another foundation for me is my love for my kids, both my little kids and my bigger kids. God bless me with 4 beautiful children. I got a 19-year-old, a 16-year-old, a 4.5-year-old boy, and a 3-year-old girl who's beautiful. And my love for them is a foundational thing for me, and really the motivation behind so many of my life decisions. I'm sure that's true for most dads. But I know when you're not when you're not still married to the mother of your kids, or living with the mother of your kids, or living near the mother of your kids, it'd be easy to have a crack in that foundation and let it go and throw in the towel. But I refuse to do that. My kids deserve better than that. And despite the challenges that are ever present for me and have brought me here where I am today, I don't want that. I can't let that happen, because all my kids deserve a loving dad. And finally, my last foundation that I think I rely on heavily is faith. And my faith's not that strong or that secure, or maybe it is. Maybe this is what faith looks like when it's developing, or being born. And maybe faith being the strength to go forward despite all evidence to the contrary, or that things are happening for a reason, or that there is a higher power, or that if you're a Christian, that Jesus loves you and your sins are forgiven. And I don't know exactly where I feel about all of that, but I did have a friend give me this book, which is titled Experiencing God Day by Day. And since one of my three anchors is faith, I thought it would be a good idea to start my morning show, at least for this morning, with a little reading from Experiencing God Day by Day. And if you don't want to hear it, you don't have to. If you don't like it, you don't have to listen. You can change the channel. I'm not trying to convince anybody anything, but I'm just think by reading this page, they're little one-page excerpts. It'll help my day. It'll build a foundation, a discipline to my day that might not exist. And if I didn't have, I might end up just, I don't know, laying in bed, thinking crazy thoughts or staring at the TV or what have you. So I'm going to read a page from this for you today. This is titled, We Live by Revelation. Without revelation, people would run wild, but one who listens to instructions will be happy. Proverbs 29:18. The world operates on vision. God's people live by revelation. The world seeks grand and noble purposes and goals to achieve. People dream up the greatest and most satisfying things in which they can invest their lives. Institutions establish goals and objectives and then organize themselves to achieve them. God's people function in a radically different way. Christians arrange their lives based on the revelation of God, regardless of whether it makes sense to them. God does not ask for our opinion about what is best for our future, our family, our church, or our country. He already knows. What God wants is to get the attention of his people and reveal to us what is on his heart and what is his will. For God's ways are not our ways. Isaiah 55:8-9. Whenever people do not base their lives on God's revelation, they cast off restraint. That is, they do what is right in their own eyes. They set their goals, arrange their agendas, and then pray for God's blessings. Some Christians are living far outside the will of God, yet they have the audacity to pray and ask God to bless their efforts. The only way for you to know God's will is for him to reveal it to you. You will never discover it on your own. When you hear from the Father, you have an immediate agenda for your life: obedience. As the writer of Proverbs observed, happy is he who keeps the law. And I thought that was fairly fitting for me this morning, because it's talking about, I hate to put my own words on that, but maybe living by God's will and not our own will, and maybe making spirituality a foundation for our lives and not living as we see fit as much as what God sees fit. And me adding that as spirituality, my own spirituality, as the third foundation for my life seems appropriate this morning with that reading. So good morning, good morning, good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Tuesday morning, It is February 24th. It is 5:33 a.m. Happy Tuesday. Coffee with Ken is a show I have done for quite some time. It is a show about me talking. It's a show about me sharing some feelings, kind of sharing a little bit about the ups and downs we have in life, kind of sharing the adventure of one man's life. But for those that have been watching a while, you know it's not just a show about me talking. You know it is also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I got a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me. And I am excited to have my first sip. My hope is wherever you are and whatever you're doing, that you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Gotta make sure the lid's on tight. Cheers to us. Oh, it's hotel coffee. People often ask me my favorite type of coffee, and sometimes I'll say it's the hot coffee I have in my hand. When I'm at home, I'm currently in a hotel. I just relocated to Illinois from Wisconsin to be closer to family and friends. And that was part of my foundational comment earlier about how my four beautiful kids are one of my foundations for life and have brought me here. And sometimes my life's not always easy. And it certainly hasn't been easy over the last couple, 3 weeks as I moved from a beautiful apartment in Wisconsin where I held three jobs. Granted, none of them were foundational jobs, but they paid the bills and kept me busy. And I had a beautiful apartment in downtown. And now I live in Illinois and I'm beating the bushes. And I will tell you what, looking for a job when you have none and you're 57 and you got a spotty work history uh, is a job in and of itself. Somebody asked me, what do I do? For most of my career, I was a realtor. I have a finance degree from University of Illinois. I was a stockbroker for a while. But for 17 years, I was a realtor. And I left that 3 years ago and didn't really know what I wanted to do. And I fell back a couple of years back on waiting tables out in Yellowstone and realized I kind of enjoyed it. The pay was fairly good and have been doing it since. But, you know, there's a lot of challenges to that. They don't pay benefits. It's hard on your body, especially as you age, a lot of running around. And for me, coming down here to a new town, I think when I meet with people, they look at me and they go, hey, I was expecting, I don't know, 20 to 25-year-old kid, and you're a 57-year-old adult, all grown up. You know, you're either going to be hard to manage or there's a reason or you won't stick around long. And I think it's made me a little more challenging to be hired down here, at least in a quick fashion. But all that aside, it's ironic we're talking about it because I've been in this town for 9 days, maybe 10 days. I moved in last Saturday. I moved into this little hotel room. It's clean, reasonably affordable. Feel fortunate to have it. And I am starting work at a restaurant tonight. Just a training. It's a part-time gig. Hopefully it can develop into something more. Hopefully it's lucrative. Hopefully it's this and that. But it's a job I think I'll be pretty good at, and the atmosphere seems cool, and I like my boss and a couple of the people I've met that work there. But tonight's my first night work, and it's just a training shift. It's only going to be 4 hours, but it feels good because honestly, I feel I've been slipping backwards, at least financially, over the last 2 weeks since I last worked. And I'll still be slipping backwards because this 4 hour shift at a training wage certainly won't cover my expenses. But at least I'll be slipping back a little slower, if that makes sense. So I'm looking forward to that. why don't you start your own business? Well, I don't know what my own business would be. I think the most obvious own business I could do would be Coffee with Ken. I know it sounds crazy, but me talking every morning to an audience while drinking coffee generates about $300 in revenue each month and has no overhead. Something I enjoy. It's something I'm pretty good at, apparently. And I think if I was to start a business, maybe I already have, and you're watching it. Somebody said they just dropped out of college today. You're 22, was doing power engineering. It feels nice knowing that life goes on and it's not too late to find something else. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, I will say this. You said you just dropped out of college today. You're 22. I do believe in finishing something. You don't have to finish everything. I got a college degree. I don't use my finance degree for really any of my jobs I've ever had. Yeah, I worked in a bank before, but I was more of a sales position than working with financials. And all of my finance related jobs have been more sales than, numbers oriented. And certainly my real estate business, there was a connection to it. I understand interest and loans and this and that. But I didn't really use my degree a heck of a lot in any aspect of my life. But it felt good to actually finish it and get my degree and complete something. And all I'm saying is you live your own life, but if you were close to getting your degree in anything, I would encourage you to get it, just and get it done rather than live your life wondering what would have happened if I finished out that last semester or dug down deep and I don't know, finished rather than left when you saw the finish line and have that feeling of regret or doubt that I don't think there'd be any reason to have. Mm. Somebody said they hate coffee. Well, that's all right. You can hate coffee. It's not a requirement that you drink coffee. Let's just say you wanted to finish it, but you realized how real sexism was in trades. Well, I don't really totally know what that means. But again, there's probably sexism in everything. And I don't know what type of engineer you were or what that even means, power engineering, or now you're talking about the trades. I don't know if you were trying to be a carpenter or a plumber or design airplanes. But there's always going to be issues. And you apparently saw sexism. And I'm sure there probably was a little bit of that. But I'd also say probably a little of it was the lens you were looking at the world through. If I was, and I alluded to it a little bit ago, but if I was all worked up about ageism or whatever and angry that they weren't hiring me because I'm old, that would only weigh me down. It wouldn't slow the restaurants down. So I wouldn't let your perception of the world impact the way you live your life if you can help it. Good morning. My thoughts on AI. Will it take our jobs? Probably take a lot of jobs. It's pretty darn good, is my thought on AI. People have been asking me that over the last several months. And if you would have asked me a year back, maybe, or a year and a half back, what were my thoughts on AI, I would have talked about how scared I was of it, how it was like the Terminator, the movie, and it still is. But I have used it a lot more as a sounding board, as a resume creator, as a it's helped me relocate. It's helped me keep moving. It's helped me say, hey, I'm thinking of applying to this job at a hotel. What are your thoughts? And it can come up with every thought it ever has on every hotel and what this position, at least from an AI perspective, looks like, and what are the opportunities. In a way, I couldn't just call a friend and say, hey, what's it like working at a front desk in a hotel, let's say. And it will give me a fairly real world experience that honestly blows me away. So, yes, I think it'll take a lot of jobs because it's really good. Um, I had like a light legal issue, if you will. And I'm an emotional guy, and when I'm dealing, sometimes my emotions are my best asset, but sometimes they're my worst. And when dealing in certain areas, you're better off removing the emotion out of it. Um, and I've often had struggles communicating in ways without my emotion being involved. And there's a couple instances where it's helped me craft letters and emails and respond to things in better ways than I could have possibly responded. Um, so my thoughts are on it is it's good. I mean, not good like it's powerful, not good like a gift from God good, because it could be not good. It could be evil, but it's strong and it's powerful. And I think it will very realistically, I've been divorced twice. I got a DUI 7 years ago. So I've had some stuff with legal issues. Uh, Lawyers aren't gifted speakers, they just know the way the system works. And I don't know why you couldn't have an AI thing be your lawyer and file the paperwork that needs filed and say whatever it needs to say in front of the judge. I would think it's a threat to lawyers. Yeah. It knows how the court operates. I don't know how it does. I think it could be a threat to a lot of things. I think if you have a question about, I don't know, I mean, it can't physically touch you, so I don't know how much it can be your doctor. But if you have I don't know, want to know what a spot on your skin means, or a sore in your throat, or a ache in your shoulder, and you give a good description of it, it'll probably do a pretty darn good analysis that might be as solid as a medical professional. Do I stream Coffee with Ken on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok? Well, I stream Coffee with Ken just on YouTube, where you're watching me here. I started on Facebook about 6 years ago, flipped over to TikTok about 3 or 4 years ago, and just over a year ago, I moved it to YouTube the day TikTok got banned. And I've been going live on YouTube ever since and enjoying it. It feels nice. Um, my audience grows a little every day. I'm creeping up on 11,000 viewers. Not all on one live, of course, but subscribers. And I don't know. As far as ego metrics, that feels kind of cool. Good morning, Kelly. Good morning, Kathleen. Good morning, dating two girls. What is the best advice you can give to a 24-year-old? I don't know. When somebody throws out a random thing like that, without any specific issues. Like you're a 24-year-old. I don't know if you're struggling with grades, with school, with parenthood, with goals in life. So me just giving you advice, I almost don't think you're serious that you want advice, because rarely would somebody say, just give me advice because I'm this age. They'd usually say, hey, I'm having trouble with a girlfriend or a job or finances or fitness. But for me just to say, you're 24, this is what you should do, I don't know what you should do. Live your life. Get off your ass, smoke less weed, get less tattoos, do less piercings, work hard, love yourself, forgive yourself, go to church, work out, get a little better every day. Don't drink alcohol. But everything I just threw out at you, you're going to say, to hell with you. You're not going to listen to me. And that's okay, because that's part of living your own life. You're going to have to make your own mistakes. You're going to have to get drunk and throw up and get a DUI and get in a divorce or get in fights at a bar and finally say, hey, alcohol's not worth it. You're going to have to smoke the weed, sit on the couch, stare at the TV, play the video games, start experiencing that marijuana stops working after a while, to give it up. You're going to have to get the tattoo, run out of skin places to desecrate your body with more tattoos, make your own decisions. You're not going to listen to me on any of these things. So those are my thoughts, but you do what you will. Thank you. Rolling up a joint right now, marijuana has helped me a lot with your panic attacks. I don't really think it's helped at all. It's numbed your pain. It's avoided the issues. It's been a escape tool for you. I don't think it's really helped. It's buried them. If you want to keep burying your issues, keep rolling up your joints. Oh. Good morning, Roxanne. How are you? Oh, that's nice. So again, I started the show about 6 years ago. And I think I started it around a relationship that I was struggling with and trying to hang on to. And I think that relationship has changed to the point that I'm not connected to it in any way. I am connected to it in an important way, but it's changed a lot. And because of that, I don't know, sometimes I wonder if my need for this show is still there. I'm hoping I think for a while it was good for me to talk, I don't know, through some stuff to the wall, if you will. And I don't know if I need it as much anymore, but I still enjoy it. Dawn asked, how was going to the new church on Sunday? Yeah, I've been down here 2 weeks or 2 Sundays, and I went to two different churches. The first church I thought was good. The second church I enjoyed more. I thought the music was more moving to me, and I'm not sure which sermon I cared for more, honestly, maybe neither that much. What I liked about the second church, A, the music was cool. B, I ran into my new boss in the lobby and we sat together, which was kind of a weird dynamic. But I don't think things happen randomly. I was talking to another woman in the lobby, a greeter, and my boss, where I'm starting work tonight, came up and said, "Hey." I'm going, "Hey, you want to sit together or will it be weird?" We sat together. It was kind of nice. I think we're both new to the area. So, uh, but either way, the one thing I'll say is it was a very animated audience at this church. A lot of like, I don't know if it was dancing, but a lot of hand holding up and swaying and more animated crowd than I'm used to at my church. There's always a little bit of that, but there was more at this church than I'm used to. But it was nice. Did I get the crazy snowstorm? No, I think that happened in New England. Uh, Good morning, Leon. How are you? Uh, what was the name of the church? I mean, the name of the church doesn't overly matter, Matt. Uh, Somebody said, "Come to a black church. We'll show you how to praise the Lord." I don't doubt it. I don't go to a white church or a black church. My church has, every church I've been has parishioners of every color. Yeah, I don't know why they're necessary. I think I know what you mean when you say a black church, but I don't want to go to a church that defines itself by their skin color. Oh, my foot falls asleep when it's like that for too long. Mm. Oh. Mm. Oh. So it's Tuesday morning. It's 5:55. A light went out in the parking lot over there. Feels kind of weird. It makes it feel like it's middle of the night. Uh, got a residual bit of black coffee in here. Got some coffee with cream in here. And I'm looking forward to working my way to the coffee with cream, to be honest with you. The hotel coffee, which is the hot coffee I have in my hand, so it's my favorite, isn't as interesting as the coffee I make at home. That's usually like the Sumatra or the Black Rifle Beyond Black or Season Welling, the pumpkin spice. Uh, did I do my part-time job yet? My first shift is tonight. Where you're from, we always make fun of American religions. Well, I don't know how valuable it is to make fun of something. I'd say that says more about you than the American religions that you are mocking. Am I traveling somewhere down my path that is life? I moved to Illinois from Wisconsin about 9 days ago, and I checked into a hotel, and I'm looking for work and looking to build a life in this town in Illinois, closer to family and friends. How'd the move go? It was sort of stressful and sort of painful, your boy Skipper. I had built up what I think was a real beautiful home in Appleton, Wisconsin, with a lot of things. And again, I don't think you should put value on things, you know, but you tend to. And my apartment was more than just a home for me, it was a place that I'd rebuilt myself from a difficult situation. And it was beautiful and it was in downtown and I had some cool stuff. It was my home base, but it was also lacking something. Uh, it was lacking my kids, and it feels good to be closer to them, even though I'm in a hotel here. But it was hard. My car was packed to the gills, and I sold off everything else um, through Facebook Marketplace, and that went pretty well. I got tired of driving around in a packed car, so I brought a bunch of the stuff into my hotel room. Um, and it's all the boxes are crammed in every spot. I even got my golf clubs laying next to my bed. There's a little recess under my bed. Pretty much any free space is being used in this hotel room at all. I sound a bit sad when I talk about that. When I talk about what? Moving out of my apartment? Well, I think I said I was sad. I don't know if I sound a bit sad or you're really reading the tea leaves. I think it was hard for me to leave. How many people live in the city I moved to? I don't know. I don't know what the population is of the city I moved to, Matt. What kind of golf clubs? The irons are pings. The bag is ping. The driver, I think, is TaylorMade. Not sure what the putter is. I'm tempted to lift them up and take a peek. I've been watching a lot of golf videos, watching these dudes, oftentimes Asian guys who apparently play at night a lot, and they're showing how to take a swing and hit the crap out of the ball, but do it really easy looking. And I'm watching, and they're saying, like, one guy will go, and he'll show a wrist position, and he'll go, and then he'll put his wrist in a different position, and he'll go like this, and then he'll swing, and he'll hit the crap out of the ball. So I'm hoping somehow by like osmosis that I am learning how to swing a golf club by watching some videos. Leon says, look at the questions. Somebody said golf is quite possibly the hardest sport to master. Yeah. Yeah. You know, in baseball, if you hit the ball 350 feet, it goes over the fence. It doesn't really matter where it goes. But like they say in golf, you got to play your foul balls. In golf, you strive for perfection. You know, you miss a 20-foot putt by 6 inches, it's still a miss. You know? So, yeah, I think the problem is you strive for perfection in golf. It's funny that you phrased it. You're 32, pretty athletic, and golf is easily the hardest sport you played. I'm only laughing because you said easily the hardest sport you played. You're down to a 17 handicapped after 4.5 years of playing. Well, we'd probably be a pretty good match. You might still have to give me a couple strokes. I think the lowest I got was probably like a 12 or a 13. But I struggle to break 100 right now. Happy birthday to you. Hello from somewhere in California. I do not know that city. Tulare. Yeah, you already said your birthday's 3 times. I've said happy birthday. Do. I'm almost done with this cup. I am almost done with this cup. Then I get to, ooh, I shouldn't have this open. The heat is seeping out of the top of my Yeti. Oh. So I don't know what else I have for you today. Have I ever been to Mexico? Yes, I have. I have. Is golf good or bad for your back? I don't know. I've seen you. Uh, all right, Skipper, you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Enjoy your day. What's the hardest and biggest lesson I've learned? I learn lessons every day. What's the hardest one? I think just having the strength to keep going sometimes. I think life gets us down. I think life beats you down. Even if you think you got it all figured out, you still have. I think we all do. It's not about the beautiful wife or the $1 million or the fancy car or the fancy house or the office with the view of Central Park. I think we carry our baggage and our demons around with us every day, and they come out every night when we're laying in bed. So I just think the hardest thing to do is keep going when life feels it's kicking you. And I think that's why if you center your faith on things that aren't the beautiful wife or even the family or the beautiful car or house, I think that's why it's fairly important to put your faith in a higher power or God or Jesus if you're Christian, because Jesus can't let you down. Somebody says it's hard to push through when things get rough. Lots of people want to quit their jobs right now, but they can't because the job market is so bad. Is the job market so bad? I mean, maybe that's why I have only landed a part-time job that I'm starting tonight. But I think even blaming the job market on any isn't valuable at all. What kind of phone or camera do I use? I think this is an iPhone 14. Hold on one second. Yeah, I think it's the iPhone 14. Had it for like 3 years. There's some cracks in it right up here, but not too bad. I had my son and daughter out with me for breakfast like a year and a half ago, maybe just over a year ago now. And Augie, who has Down syndrome, he's the sweetest little nugget of love. But I'll tell you what, even at 3 years old with Down syndrome, he could really whip through my phone and get on YouTube and find Sesame Street. But for some reason, the app shut down, and he got frustrated and threw the phone. And I had a faulty case at the time, and it landed with a bad sounding crack. And because of that, I got little cracks on it. But almost makes me smile because it reminds me of Augie. This just came on your FYP. What's this about? Well, just watch it and discover. I can't give a summary every time that my show pops up on Strange Persons. Job market's been bad since 2008, but America has far larger problems. Unemployment isn't huge yet, but there's more people out there than jobs for them right now. And that's in a perfect 1-to-1. Well, what are you going to do with the bad job market? And the guy before, what are you going to do with America's far larger problems? And I say that seriously. What are your plans? Because bitching about it or worrying about it's not going to help. And I say that if what you're saying is true, I'm right now trying to land a waiter job. Uh, I'm impacted as well, but I know bitching about the job market's not going to make my job any, come to me any quicker. So what will you do about that? And how are you going to solve it? And the guy that said America's far larger problems, what are the problems and what are your thoughts? And, you know, honestly, you worrying about America's far larger problems, is that going to better your life at all? You're not going to do anything. Just hole up in your job and get your degree to move to something else in 2 years. Well, getting to your degree is a great call. Uh, Matt is from New Zealand. All right. Again, getting your degree is probably a great call, and keeping working hard and having a good attitude at your job is a good call. But again, I think a lot of people want to. I don't blame you. I'm just saying, bitch. And rather than hear somebody bitch, I'd like to hear what they're going to do or how they're going to deal with it or focus on something positive. In your country, the HR, assuming that means human resources, post jobs but never respond, which is another problem. Well, I don't know what country you're in, but believe me, here in the United States, I've applied to a lot of jobs and I get an automated response, usually when I apply to most jobs. Thanks for applying to XYZ Corp. We will reach out and ask for more information if we decide to proceed. You somehow got a job, but your friends are struggling. So you're saying it's like a worldwide economic issue that there aren't enough jobs? I'm going to the gym today after our little talk. I think my gym's hiring. The AI applications have ruined HR response rates too. Uh, well, I think that's a little bit of a problem with technology. I don't know if it's AI applications. Um, it's just so easy to apply for a job now. You used to have to write up a resume, send it in by mail, I think. Pretty sure we did. I remember I moved to California in like 1991, and I think I'd look up, I saw like a job in Long Beach, and I'm pretty sure I put my resume in the mail. Think how ineffective that is. All the businesses are trying to adjust, but it's messed with the personal touch. Yeah. Again, I talk about walking into businesses a lot. I think my resume, I got some good stuff on it. But again, it doesn't necessarily jump out at you. But when I walk in a business, I think I do. I think I command a presence and I look people in the eyes and I smile and I shake hands. They might not want that, but they're not going to forget me. Uh, you went to the Wisconsin Dells last year and you were the only American there. I don't know what that means. I have a hard time believing you were the only American in the Wisconsin Dells. I doubt it's that international of a tourist attraction. I worked in Yellowstone. There were a lot of foreigners, but that's a worldwide known national park. I doubt the Wisconsin Dells commands that much international attention. By the way, I'm pleased to have switched to my coffee with cream. Mm. So you guys enjoying today's show? We got a glorious audience. We got 40 people watching. We have 34 thumbs up. And I'm wondering, are you enjoying the show? Let's give me your feedback. I appreciate the person that just double tapped the screen and gave me one more thumbs up. If anyone's new here, I go live pretty much every morning. I drink a little coffee and talk about things or life. Been doing it a while. I enjoy it. I'm a positive person and you like talking to me. Well, thank you. You think things will all work out, but we listen too much to the news nowadays. Well, do you enjoy the show? Is what I'm asking. You're right about the bitch, and you're not answering my question. I was asking if you enjoy the show. I'm looking for a little positive feedback. All right, well, thank you. Yeah, stop watching the news. I'll tell you what, the news is evil. I flip around and I'll watch. I'm slightly right of center politically. But any news station you watch is just gossiping about the other side. You know? And it's got everyone so riled up. You know, I go through my day and we're all just trying to make it through the day. And I come across very nice people of all demographics that probably don't align with me politically or don't look like I do. And I have friendly people holding the door open for me that look like all sorts of different things and probably voted for all sorts of different things. So I think if we turn off the news and we go outside and we open our eyes, there's good human beings out there doing nice small gestures, just holding the door or saying good morning. And if we focus on that more and watch the news less, our lives are going to be a lot better. Where located? I was watching a video of an old retired man in Germany. He was happy, and I think it was because he didn't watch the news and just saw how good things were around him. Yeah, again, every day that I see little acts of kindness, I think you see the world as you want to see it. And if you're watching the news, it doesn't matter if you're conservative or liberal or whatever. You're either going to hate Trump and have hate in your heart, or you're going to hate liberals and have hate in your heart. And I tell you what, you turn off the news, your life's better. I had Fox News on for a little bit. And I was listening to her talk, this woman, and I don't even know what she was talking about, but she was angry about something. And I'm going, well, I don't even know if she's right or wrong or if it matters. I just know my life's better without her anger in it. Good morning, Cathos Prime. I miss you, Cathos Prime. I know you're working hard up there in Ottawa. I know I've moved a little further away from you now that I'm in Illinois. But what I'm hoping, Cathos, is distance makes our relationship even a little bit hotter. Let me see, Dawn says, you very much enjoy my show and positive thoughts to carry on, especially when you wake up early with anxious thoughts. I'm on the West Coast. Thank you. When you wake up early, Dawn? Yeah, no, I wake up pretty much early too with anxious thoughts most days. You don't need $1 million in the bank and a Ferrari to be happy. But if you're alone and can't afford a home in your 30s, you're going to have a bad time. Well, I can't afford a home and I'm 57. You don't have to have a bad time because you can't afford a home. I mean, look at me. I'm sitting in a hotel. Next April, Kathos, I'm going to be uh, probably a very committed man next April. I'm sure I'm going to have lots of, I don't know what I'm going to have. I did talk to a woman yesterday. It was funny. ChatGPT can be a bit of a stickler, and it's helping me help me with my job search, honestly. And I was at a coffee shop, and I'm typing about like job stuff, and I just was letting the fingers do the walking, and I said, by the way, there's a cute redhead at my table. And it might have gone on a little bit. And it like takes it real serious. Okay, well, that doesn't mean take a deep breath. Da da da. Granted, it's an AI thing. So I shouldn't expect a human response or really a sense of humor from it. Don, well, you are not alone in those thoughts. You say, for some reason, when you wake up, your thoughts are usually always anxious. Mine too, Don. And you do have to push yourself. And you do have to think positive thoughts and be grateful. I think a lot of people deal with that. I used to think it was my curse in life that I'm the one that woke up with negative, crappy thoughts. But I don't think it's just you and I, Don. I think a lot of people deal with that. Do I go to gym? Yeah, I'm going today. I'm wearing my workout clothes. I opened with that. I've got three foundations in my life right now. Going to the gym, my kids that I love so much, and faith. And I don't even know how I feel about faith, but I think maybe that's the greatest faith when you're not even sure how faithful you are, but you still have faith. Oh, been hitting a heavy bag. It's really enjoying that. It feels good. My friend told me to do, I think it's called either a dead hang or a straight hang or something like that. Instead of trying to do pull-ups, which I really struggle with, just hang on the bar. That's pretty dang hard too. It's all hard. I did have a home in my 30s. Yeah, I think I had a home. I probably had a home. Let me see, my 30s. Bought a home in 2002. So I was, I don't know, 34 or something like that. You mean actually buying a home or renting? It doesn't matter either way. Whether you buy or rent, uh, doesn't matter a whole heck of a lot. What's the heaviest weight I lift? That's funny to even ask. I don't even know what that means. Why do you think I'm British? I don't know. Do I like pizza? Obviously, it's one of the best foods there is. Good morning, Karen. Hello, Detroit Lion fan. Well, you got to like my shirt today. It is very blue. Do I bench press often? It sounds like a pickup line. Why, yes, I do bench press often. And do you? Do you bench press often? Do psychologists help me? What do you mean? Do psychologists help me? Just the mere existence? That there are people studying psychology, you are wondering if that has a positive impact on me? Or are you saying like going to talk to a therapist? I found talking to therapists has been good. I think it's been a great opportunity for me to unleash pent up emotions and tears oftentimes. I remember going to a therapist once and just crying like a baby the whole time. It felt really good. Oh, so it's getting a little lighter outside. You can see it. Uh, when I make coffee, well, again, some dude said therapist did not help your sister. Therefore, you are skeptical. Well, I don't know. Okay. Be skeptical. I don't know why they didn't help your sister. They're not like a miracle cure. People come out and want me to talk to them. And I think want me to sprinkle fairy dust on people and make their hurt go away. Um, I don't think there's any fairy dust. I think you got to do some work. You got to go to church. You got to go to the gym. You got to have faith. You got to be grateful. You got to do your best. Keep moving forward. All these things add up to a better life. But there's no magic powder that a therapist is going to sprinkle on you and make you whole or, feel good. Yeah, you got to put in work. Somebody said there's not a perfect solution to anything. Yeah, you got to do stuff. I was feeling crappy in bed an hour and 45 minutes ago when I woke up. I had to do some work. I had to get grateful. I had to get out of bed. I had to get moving forward. I had to get my body in motion, get my coffee, turn on this, talk to you guys. When I'm done with this, I'm going to FaceTime my little ones. When I'm done with that, I'm going to go to the gym. When I'm done with that, I'm going to, you know, do other things, look for jobs, look for better jobs. But when I'm done with that, I'm going to be thankful for the job I'm going to tonight. There's no miracle cure that's going to fix everything. There's little steps you can do. You can stop watching the news. Good morning, Jess. How are you? Hmm. How would I react if my kid came out to me as queer? Just for the record, what does queer mean? Yeah, I don't even know what queer means. Not hetero? Then why don't they just say gay? Because there's LBGTQ. The L means lesbian, B means bisexual, G means gay. But why is there a Q? You mean gay or lesbian or trans? I mean, honestly, I think the thing I'd struggle with most is trans. Uh, if they wanted to be gay, okay, honestly, you want to know my honest opinion? If they thought they were lesbians, I think most of them would be just experimenting, because I think most people that think they're lesbians now are experimental. I think guys that are gay, you don't experiment being gay if you're a guy. There's no attraction for a straight man towards another man. So if my son was gay, I'd love him just the same. Uh, if my daughter was lesbian, I think often it would pass. If they came out as trans, I'd go, okay, Uh, Honestly, I'd look at that as a mental health issue. Uh, it is in your psychology book, says Jess. Yeah. I mean, I think there's clearly confusion going on in that community. And I believe a child can be born gay or lesbian, but I don't think any child is born trans. So I don't think that there's any chance that my children will come out as trans. Oh. Yeah. Jess said short answer, culture. Because I think we all find women attractive. I think women find women attractive. I think there's some totally straight women that are pretending to be lesbians right now because it's sort of okay, and we all find women attractive. I don't think a guy finds other men attractive. Good morning, Sarah. Sarah thinks the hormones in plastic has caused the increase. I'm not sure what increase we're talking about. But I appreciate you being here, Sarah. Humans have so many questions that sometimes you're surprised by what you read. I don't know that I love Marky Mark, but if I was going to be gay, it might be Marky Mark. Uh, Increase in trans. You think it's plastics? You're a dude, and you can say some dudes are more attractive than others. Yes, but can you imagine kissing them? So men admit they do find men attractive, but they don't want to kiss them. I think Brad Pitt, Rob Lowe, and Marky Mark are all good looking guys. I can't imagine kissing them. Well, that's what I'm saying. But I think women can imagine kissing other women a lot more than men can. Hello, Narinder. How are you? Yeah, kissing them makes you feel weird. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not just weird. Not just weird. You can't pretend to be gay. All right. Yeah, you do not want, you can imagine, but it's not going to be good. Yeah, no, women find women sexy. You know, many of those men that feel some way have been, I don't know what that means. Zhivago finds me attractive. Well, do you want to kiss me? I doubt it. If you're a guy. You feel that I might like watching a woman kiss another. No, Mike. I mean, sure. But it's not just my opinion. I think women find women sexy. I think we all find breasts appealing for whatever reason, including women. Mm. Oh. 6:34. We have a glorious audience today. An absolutely glorious audience today. And I'm getting ready to start my day. And my day usually starts with FaceTime of my little ones. I wish I still FaceTime my big ones every day. One of them lives in Thailand. She won't pick up. She messages a lot, sends lots of pictures. The other one's a high schooler. She's getting ready for her day. Uh, Zhivago would kiss me. Somebody wants to know how many kids I have. I have 4 kids. Actually, not 2. What's it like? I gotta go. I don't have time for such conversations. Somebody wants me to spare some advice. Again, I talked about it earlier. Somebody said, what's some advice for a 24-year-old? And I gave a whole bunch. I tried not to. But I think if you really were looking for advice, you'd have a specific issue you wanted to deal with. You wouldn't just say, hey, give me some advice. Well, thank you. Mm. Well, again, I appreciate you guys for hopping on today. Uh, we've had a glorious, glorious audience. Narinder, it's just a first step in many steps, rebuilding myself here in Champaign. It's just a first shift, a training shift at a job. We'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be good to get back to work. But I'm not sure it's a long-term solution, but it's certainly a step in the right direction. So I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I appreciate you guys very much for hopping on today. We've had a glorious, glorious audience today. And I hope anybody new here, please subscribe. I go live almost every day. And I enjoy it. It seems the audience enjoys it. And I don't know, it feels good for me, and I hope it feels good for you. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope your week is started off real well yesterday. Hope you had a great night's sleep. I hope you are feeling good. I hope you are loving yourself. I hope you are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye bye.